Hello, everybody, and welcome to the afternoon tune. I'm your host, Josh, and today I got my co-host Dusk
Hey, how you
with
doing?
me. There, good old Dusk there.
Mhm.
Yeah, got a good show today. Got a lot of movie reviews there.
You misspelled
And
Badlands.
huh?
You misspelled Badlands.
Oh, did I? Oh, okay, I've got it. Yeah. Let me fix that real quick. But yeah, got that today there,
Mm.
and that's pretty much it. This movie reviews, no real news really, for it there. But yeah, no trailers. We already discussed the trailers with Neil there. There was the teaser there, for Toy Story 5. There was that. There was the Fallout trailer there, season 2. That also is showing there. I don't know if I'm going to do a review for season 2, but I don't know. I might. There is Sage, who is a big fan of the games there, so I don't know if he'll be interested. He did not like the first season, so I
Mm.
don't know if he'll be interested to see the second season. But we did that there. But yeah, so just the movie reviews. We're gonna be doing a review for Predator Badlands there. We're gonna be doing a review for Die My Love there, Christy, and we're gonna do The Running Man there. Future streams. I do have a stream coming up Saturday. I'm gonna be joined by Chris from the Black Stoves podcast and Christina from Cosmopolitics. I'll text them after this and make sure they're still ready for that. Probably 7 p.m. Central Standard Time there. Do a review for Wizard of Oz, the 1939 film there, because I was gonna say Wizard for Good, they're Wicked for Good. Is coming out this upcoming week there. So that is coming out. So do a review for that in preparation for Wicked for Good. Already out though. Well, already sequel. It's already been a year already since that movie's been out. So yeah, do a review for that. Sunday I don't have anything planned. And then Monday I'm gonna be joined by Sage from Radio Immaturity there. Immaturity. We're gonna be doing a review for Running Man 1987. Then we're gonna be doing a review for the creator of Chainsaw Man. He has like an anthology series on Prime. It's an adaptation of his short stories. Do a review for that. Vince Gilligan, he has a new show on Apple TV Plus. Discuss the first 2 episodes. It's pretty good. So discuss that. And if I can, I'll try to finish Dragon Ball Daima and try to finish that and do a review for that Monday as well. Have you seen Running Man 1987?
I've seen the original one, yes.
Okay. It's my first time seeing it a couple days ago. So be interested to talk about it there with him.
Mhm.
And then Wednesday, I'll talk to Neil to see if he wants to do anything there. See what we got planned. Probably do a Thanksgiving film there since Thanksgiving's around the corner. I got Spider-Man and I got Adam's Family Values. So I'll see what he wants to discuss there. And then next week there, I think the big movie coming out, like I said, Wicked for Good is the big one. And then this weekend I'll watch Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Do that. That'll be my first Now You See Me movie. I haven't watched any of these movies before. Have you?
I saw the first one, and then from there it's just gone more crazy.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen anyone there, but Neil, him and his wife are big fans of it.
Mm.
I was like, I don't know, I'm not familiar with the lore of Now You See Me there with it, but I mean, it seems like it ain't much to get, right? It's just people who do magic, and then like it's like Ocean's 11, but people who do magic tricks, right? Basically, and
Pretty much. And
general
then
gist of
and then it starts bordering on, oh, is it really actually magic?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it starts off grounded, and then you think, oh, it's a bunch of tricks, and then it's like, nope.
Oh, they really got powers. Okay, they really.
Yeah, they start like really kind of like dealing with that. It's and it
Huh.
just goes from there.
Okay. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, that's kind of fucking wild. I didn't know that, but okay. So yeah, do that. I'll watch that Saturday. Also, there was this Osgood Perkins movie that came out, Keeper. I'll watch that. I'm seeing that tonight, and then I'll have that. And then I think that's pretty much it. Those are the only movies I missed out on this week that I'll review next week there. Um, But yeah. So, thank you, Dust, for joining me. And then,
Mhm.
as always, after this, go ahead and raid somebody. Geek Dom, he's on right now. Geek Dom, good guy there, from across the pond. He's playing another Crab's Treasure there. He goes for a long time, so he'll definitely be on, even after we're done, long after we're done. So, give him a raid there. Um, yeah. So, let me queue up these reviews and we go ahead and get started with that. And you saw Predator Badlands, you saw Running Man.
Mhm.
I don't think you saw Die My Lover Christy there. I don't think. I mean, not many people saw Christy.
Yeah, Chrissy was kind of
But I'll give a solo review for that.
that's fine.
Uh, and Die My Love as well. Yeah, let me do that there. I'll go ahead and start with the Running Man, and we go ahead and give a review for that.
Oh yeah.
But you've been good. You've been all right. Been doing well.
Yeah, no, I was just I thought the show was an hour later than it actually was. So when you sent the link, I was like, "Oh crap."
Oh, okay, gotcha. But yeah, good old the Running Man there. Have you read the
Mhm.
book?
Yes, way back when.
Okay, interesting to hear your take on that. Good old there. Seems like a lot of Stephen King adaptations.
Yeah, I mean, might as well do him while he's still alive.
Yeah.
This
How
one's
was
been but the Running Man one has been in the works on and off for years.
yeah Stephen King 78. He's 78 years old. So
Yeah.
we still got maybe 12 more years with Stephen King maybe.
Yeah, why not?
But all right. Okay. So our first review of the day is going to be for the film The Running Man there. The Running Man is the second adaptation of the Stephen King novel that came out in 1982 there. The first one adaptation of this was in 1987 with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But this time it is with Glenn Powell there and directed by Edgar Wright. People might know Edgar Wright from such things as Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott
Mhm.
Pilgrim. He also did most recently his movie before this one was Last Night in Soho, which we reviewed, which I thought was okay. I thought it was all right. I think the ending kind of ruins things there, but it was a little bit of a departure from normally I think what Edgar Wright has done. And even this movie, I think is we'll discuss it in our review there. I think this is a little bit of a departure normally with comes with normal Edgar Wright movies there. But yes, what is the premise here of The Running Man? Well, you have a guy, Glenn Powell there. People might know he was in that movie, The Expendables. He was in. He was also in Hitman. He was in that movie as well. Top Gun Maverick was a big one, and he plays a character named Ben Richards. Ben Richards, he lives in this dystopian, authoritarian world there, where the divide between the poor and the rich is incredibly huge. You know, you got these people on the top, you got everybody else that's on the bottom, and also he's an angry motherfucker,
Mm.
angry guy. I mean, he is just walking around angry there, and what makes him even angrier is that he's got a sick kid and he's got a wife who's working triple, shifts at her job there to support them because he always gets fired from his jobs because he's always insubordinate. He's always getting fired there left and right. There's even a montage of like all the different jobs that he has there. So yeah, and he decides to enter the competition there. He's like, maybe I go on one of these game shows here and win some money so I can afford medicine for my sick child who's about to die there. And that's when he gets roped into doing the Running Man, which is this competition to see who can survive being hunted by people there. And if you end up surviving for 30 days, you can win $1 billion of new cash, is what they.
Mhm.
So it's just basically how will he survive there? Will he survive? And with all these people hunting him along the way, and even meet some kind of crazy characters in this world. And this is a little bit different. People only know of this Running Man from the 1987 film here. From my understanding, I want to get your input on this, having a person who's
Mhm.
read the book, and if you still remember anything from it. This, from what I understand, sticks more closely to the book.
In some
And
ways.
okay, it's a little bit. I heard it's a little bit more closer to actually what the
It's
book is.
closer, but it also changes some stuff too.
Gotcha. And a big thing about this movie also, it's like it's not only the people that are hunting him, you have these assigned hunters, as they call them, but
Yeah.
also everybody in this city, which they're in, of course, they're in Boston, in Maine, which obviously is the place where Stephen King was born in Maine there. But they also are in it too. So if people, you have not only the hunters to deal with, but everyone else who can rat you out, and they get a big payment from that as well. So there's a big incentive for those people, just everyday citizens, to also do that, to join in on it as well. But yeah, whereas in the 1987 version, it was more of a contained area in which these people were forced to kind of compete. Dusk, what are your
Mm.
thoughts? Running Man.
Um, I never actually thought that Edgar Wright would make this kind of a movie. I didn't think that he would make The Running Man, because The Running Man is very much a dystopian novel. It doesn't have a lot of. It has some humor in it. At one point in the book, Ben basically disguises himself as a half-blind priest to get past a checkpoint. He does a lot of different small disguises here and there. He does a few things. Most of it is just him in different spots trying to get past state lines to keep it going, to keep his time going. Right from the very beginning in the novel, and even in the movie, they make it very clear you don't have. No one's lasted this long or very long in the game. They make it maybe a little bit, but then eventually someone is hunted down. Because I mean, ultimately, you're being hunted down by trained hunters, which that's their one job to do, and they're also being looked out by other people to try and get a cash prize of their own. And so then adding Edgar Wright into the mix here, you then have this more energetic tone when you have a very should be kind of more of a dystopian, darker tone, but they really ratchet up the comedic elements in this. This very much feels more comedic and over the top, and in some ways that would be great, but I feel like it loses something in the story by doing it. There's which is interesting because in the original movie version, the 1987 version with Arnold Schwarzenegger, uh, Running Man is basically in name only, and Killian and Benjamin. After that, pretty much a lot of it is just thrown out the window to do a different premise. But the dystopian elements, at least in the 87 version, were kind of taken seriously. They're like, yeah, this isn't a great place. This kind of sucks. This is very corrupt and it's bad. And the gaming network has way more power than it roughly should, because the American government in the novel and in this, and even in the original one, you get the feeling that this one they spell it out, but in the previous movie, they make a mention of, that there's still a presidency, but for all intents and purposes, like it's like network television and the presidency and a government have been combined, and it's just
Hmm.
become one big propaganda piece. And to keep people kind of sort of in line, they have this game network and the promise of money. And
Hmm.
yeah, with this, it's still, that's kind of there. That's all elements there. You see him in the trailers, him and his wife and his kid, and he enters in it to help them both out, specifically for his daughter who is suffering from a disease. And he's like, okay, I'm going to try to survive as long as possible and hopefully get the grand prize of $1 billion, which will set them for life.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then just kind of the action kind of ensues. And I kind of wish it was taken a little bit more seriously. As fun as it was, I actually think there were some of the action scenes are fun in this, but it did feel like a tonal whiplash sometimes.
Hmm. Interesting. Because I kind of feel the exact opposite with you,
Really.
especially comparing to both the movies, having now seen the
Hmm.
1987 version before seeing this one. I think the 1987 version is a little bit more kind of treated as like a satire, comedic.
Mm.
And with this one, I think there are comedic moments in it for sure.
Mm.
Especially when you meet Michael Cera when he kind of comes into
Oh
play.
yeah.
But then it feels like when that kind of comes in, it feels like it clashes with the rest of the movie, because the rest of the movie feels so straightforward
Mm.
in this type of story of this type of world. And then you have other things that kind of come in here of like, okay, I can tell some of the parts where it feels like, okay, that's kind of classic Edgar Wright type
Yeah,
stuff.
you can feel when Edgar Wright's hands enters into this.
And there were two other, there was
Mm.
another writer on this as well there. And it feels like, okay, there's parts where he kind of comes in and feels like, okay, that's classic Edgar Wright from which from seeing stuff like Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the
Mhm.
Dead. But then it just feels kind of straightforward. And that kind of me walking out of the movie, I was kind of like, well, that was kind of a little disappointing, I think, especially coming from Edgar Wright there. And it makes me kind of think that, looking at the rest of his filmography, it's like I haven't really loved an Edgar Wright movie since Scott Pilgrim, and that was like 15 years
Dang,
ago.
really?
Yeah, because like Last Night in Soho, I think we did I remember we
Yeah,
did a
Last
review.
Night Soho. What about Baby Driver?
I just kind of was male on Baby
Yeah,
Driver.
I kind of liked the first half of Baby Driver, and then once the heist, the final heist happens, it kind of went, oh, okay. It kind of started going down, but up to that point, I was really enjoying it.
Yeah. And, this, it's like, you got Glenn Powell in it, who's Glenn Powell, he's the hot new thing right now. And I think he does a decent job there in the role he's given. Even it's kind of generic. I mean, he's kind of action man,
Yeah.
he's kind of action dude there. And he's almost like even seeing him because like there's like a montage of all these different jobs he's worked out. He's like it almost feels like he's an action figure,
Hmm.
where you just model him up and all this, put him in all these different costumes and hey, he loves to play dress up. He loves to play dress up there. If you watch Hitman or something like that, like seeing him,
Hmm.
like you mentioned him as a priest and stuff like that, which is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, I felt like there wasn't really much there. It's like what's driving him is like, okay, my family, my family, my family, which okay, that simple kind of thing can work, but I was
Yeah.
like, okay, it's kind of all that's there really. And it's like, okay. And then the supporting people in it, like Coleman Domingo, I think is fantastic as the host, as the person who's doing the show. I think he, because he gets to be
Yes,
larger than life.
Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby T.
Bobby
So
T.
he gets to be larger than life and kind of play it up there, which I think I was looking for maybe more of that. And then like the
Mhm.
element of like where Glenn Powell, because he meets all these kind of different revolutionary type figures throughout the
Mhm.
movie. And then there's another character that comes in here who he's like a YouTuber or streamer who does these
Yeah.
videos about the Running Man and about all the lies and tries to expose the Running Man there. And that actor's name is Daniel Ezra, I believe his name was.
Yeah.
That segment felt more like a Boots Riley movie a little bit, like with his kind of character because
He
he
is
has
completely made up. He's not in the book.
okay, interesting because that
Not
yeah
that I
that
can
felt
recall. Again, it's been a hot minute since I've read the book, but I don't remember a Bradley
mm,
YouTuber
yeah.
guy. I didn't remember him. Like I'm like, oh yeah, this whole thing is definitely added in. You can feel it because of the YouTube. Remember when he wrote this book originally, the amount of money wasn't even disclosed. The grand prize, it was disclosed. It was just called the grand prize in the book. It
Mm,
was never given a monetary number because it was just you're never going to get there. It was a
mm,
lot more bleak. The tone in the book is far bleaker than even this movie details. Like,
mm,
there's some elements. There's a lot of this movie that is played straight. I'll agree with you on that. But then it gets tonally upset by the Edgar Wright moments that try to like add some levity and add some Edgar Wrightness into it. And you go,
mm,
yeah, you're kind of clashing with the tones here. I don't know what you're kind of doing with those moments. You're doing fine playing like a straight laced version of this. It's not as gritty as I was hoping. A lot of in the book would have been very, very difficult to do in a movie like this. So when they deviate from it, which they do eventually pretty easily deviate quite early on, and then they bounce back to the book and then they deviate again. And once we get to the ending, it super deviates. But it
mm,
kind of goes with I'm surprised they even bothered because they keep saying, "Oh, we're gonna play this closer to the chest, closer to the book." You're like, okay, so in the original one, you did like 5% of the book is in the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like five because it's
mm,
basically the names and the premise,
yeah. Yeah,
and then
watching
in
that
this,
movie,
yeah,
it just seems like a vehicle just for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, very much so. It very much is a vehicle for Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it ended up becoming a classic of its own just because of the people in it and the production and the actor who played Killian. Uh, like, there's just so many memorable lines in that movie, and it's a memorable movie even if it doesn't follow the book. It's so different from the book, you can kind of divorce it from it. So you're like, okay, cool. This one, elements of the book are there, but it's also not pushed as far. I would have actually more preferred a serious take on the book and it be like 3-part a miniseries, like a 3-parter miniseries, and just be done, or even a 2-parter
Mm.
and just kind of be done. Because ultimately, a lot of it is true. A lot of the book, and in this, he's just bouncing from place to place and going through disguise to disguise to get past and not get like shot up and killed.
Mm.
If I remember correctly, in this movie, it's the full 30 days. He needs to make it a month, and then he gets the grand prize, which just never happened.
Yeah.
In the book, I think it was there was no if I can't recall the definitive end date, but I know it was unheard of by the time he gets there, and he's lasted in the book, I think 197 hours.
Mm.
That's the longest anyone's ever made it.
Yeah.
So like days wasn't even like considered. You last maybe like a few days, maybe.
Yeah. Because a month is a long time. So
Oh,
that
it
was a
is.
long.
Oh, yeah, a month is a long time, especially when you're being hunted every second of every day, and you're being
Yeah.
tracked. And in the and then just like in this, just like in the novel, he has to send a videotape of himself twice every day, or so he can get the money going, keep the money going.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Um.
just yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that is a long time there, and like they say, I mean this guy, is supposed to be very poor, destitute, lowest of the low. But they make sure to show off, like obviously he ain't missing the gym.
No,
He's got enough money
Ben
to meal.
Richards,
Yeah, he got enough money to meal prep, for sure, because you don't
he
look
got it
like
for
that.
days. He's a construction worker. That's how they get big, right?
Yeah, construction worker. I mean, they show all the different jobs. He worked on like some type of rig or something. So
Yeah.
he did all these type of different jobs. So yeah. Which I get that, they're setting that up because it's okay, you need a guy who is in that type of shape. Because in the movie, they show Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's like a military guy. I don't know if it's the same in the book. He's supposed to be a military figure there as well. But you have to give some reason why maybe a guy would last that long. He has to be in maybe top physical shape to give it more plausible believability there that he can survive this long. Um, how did you like Glenn Powell in this? Do you think he performed well, or you think?
I think he did fine with the material he's given. I think honestly, he did all right. There are moments when he's playing it straight, and I'm like, okay, all right. As a more down to earth Ben Richards, he's doing not bad. I'm like, okay. And then he does like the weird. Then he starts like really going the Edgar Wright of like, I'm going for it. He starts like flipping the bird and doing a bunch of crazy shit and like going kind of ridiculous stuff. Then I'm like, okay, all right, go for it, man.
Mm,
It this movie, I want to like it more than I do, unfortunately. Like I like there are elements I like in this movie quite a bit, but I keep feeling like there are the Edgar Wright elements that I usually love. I actually usually love his movies. Only like the last one that I would say I didn't really like particularly was Last Night in Soho. Like I
mm,
wasn't the biggest. That was the one I'm like, yeah, I didn't really like this, which was a surprise because most of his movies up to that point I'd liked or at least enjoyed to a certain to at least a major degree, even if some of them maybe fall apart or one. And Baby Driver kind of falls apart near the ending, but I still
yeah.
enjoyed Baby Driver for what it was.
Mm,
This it kind of feels like a weird mix. Like you feel like it felt like a Edgar Wright movie that snuck into a script about a different subject, and then you have those moments come in. But then you'll have the moments of the extreme ridiculousness that does work with the game show elements. Like those stuff did work. I thought was campy and kind of ridiculous, and it fits in a more tone you're going to go for. But then you also want me to take me seriously. This guy going around and surviving for like 30 days, and the tone is just like, okay, what are you going for here?
mm, yeah. So, nowhere in the book does it have like a satire kind of edge
The
to it a little?
satirical edge does come from the gaming network aspect of it, and its satirical nature is downplayed. It's
Mm,
not that it's not there. It's just more it's just it's more face value satire where here's this network and it makes fun of broadcast television, but it's very grim. That's most of the the satire. There's a couple elements where Ben dresses up in different ways and has to get through things, and he has comments with different characters. That is satire here and there, but for the most part, it's kind of treated as a proper dystopian novel
Mm.
with the satire being the nature of the game show, and that's what gives it its levity, or at least its lightness, until you get to the ending, and then he goes all in on the darker tone.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I was hearing about the ending from somebody who is familiar with the book to a
It's
degree.
very different.
Yeah.
Well, similar premise of what happens, but very different
Yeah.
compared to the original novel ending.
Yeah. And also this movie with the other kind of cast of characters feels kind of like a waste to some people. Like there's a main hunter, I won't spoil who it is. Feels like kind of a waste of them, given a little bit of their pedigree as an actor. And then you also
I
have
mean,
like
the main hunter, Evan McCone.
no, not him.
Not him.
The one with the mask.
Oh, how yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's actually he's probably one of the more fun parts in this.
Yeah. And when they do the reveal of who it is, I feel like it's a little bit of a waste of maybe that actor. And then also you have like Katie O'Brien who's in this, who she's popping up in a lot of like different supporting roles. She was in another movie I'm about to talk about, Christy. She was in that. She pops up. She was in Love Lies Bleeding.
She is a blink or miss it in this.
Yeah, like you think that because he starts off with a group of people and you think like maybe they're going to be with him through maybe most of they're going to be like helping each other out, like kind of like The Long Walk, which is another kind of Stephen King kind of thing. I was like, oh,
Yes.
are they going to really like kind of partner up, maybe help each other out? Like, no, they kind of just separate and they get picked off pretty easily. So it's like, they just pop back into the story to go like, oh, this motherfucker dead. Like, okay, back to Ben Richards now. So it seemed like kind of waste of those kind of people in it. But like I said, I did enjoy Coleman Domingo in it. I did enjoy Josh Brolin. I think is pretty good in here. I mean, he plays evil corporate guy pretty well. He knows how to do that. Pretty fine. You also got some fun other stuff like William H. Macy comes in for a little bit. Michael Cera mentioned him. He has a fun bit in this movie. Probably the most like that sequence with him feels very much out of like Hot Fuzz, like or Shaun of the Dead.
Very much
That
so.
feels very much like something out of that, which is maybe what I was expecting more from with this. I was like maybe playing with kind of a little bit of that more with that. Yeah, so I just think it's just fine for me there. Do you have any final thoughts rating on this?
Nah, not really. I'm not too upset. I didn't think they were gonna go with the full book premise, especially from the trailers early on. I'm like, yeah, I don't think they're going with that. So I kind of went into this with the idea of it's just going to be its own thing with maybe some elements from the book, and that's kind of what I got. I wish it was a little more coherent. I wish its tone was a bit more coherent, but the movie's not. It's fine. It could have been better, but for what it is, and I guess the tone they were going for, it's fine enough. But for those who are really interested in the book or really wanted to see maybe a bit more of a serious portrayal from the book, you're just not going to get that.
What'll be your rating?
It's all right. I kind of would give it I give it stream it.
Okay, just to stream it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about where I am as well. Stream it. Maybe a little higher, maybe than you on the stream it, but yeah, probably maybe a stream it there with me. For the things I mentioned before, with it there, and the clashing of the tones, kind of. Yeah, I mean, and I think hammer like if you did more of a satire, it would make the social commentary more digestible and not so on the nose and not so kind of like, okay, we got a, generic kind of, political commentary type speeches there that are in the movie. It would make it a little bit better, I think, if you had those things in it. It'd make it more kind of enjoyable for the audience or
Yeah, I think
digestible for the
it would
audience.
definitely help.
But yeah, and I think it's just kind of like your straightforward dystopian sci-fi type movie there. If this didn't have The Running Man on it and it had some other title, it'd be like, okay, this would be like another YA type movie, really.
Yeah, very much so.
And comparing, bringing up The Long Walk, The Long Walk I think was much better in terms of developing its characters. It's another movie set in a dystopian type world there. And I think where that one works better is that, first of all, the concept of like this long walk makes for like this horrific kind of idea of these characters going on this thing of like all the things that can happen to you while you're doing this and your body. Plus just the camaraderie with, the people there in this movie, even if the characters are maybe somewhat generic. I think the performances in that kind of elevated, and I don't think the same can be said
there are
about
elements
Brennan.
in that wasn't translated from the book to the movie just like this, but they were closer at least. Aside from the casting changes and some other things, but they at least got they got the tone and understanding of what you're going through is horrific. There ain't nothing fun about this.
Yeah. And there's another character that comes in towards the end that, I mean, I don't think that just, and the movie's also, I think, kind of a little too long. I think if you trimmed off some time on it, as well, because this movie's over 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours and 15. You feel that length, I think.
Yeah. I definitely see you on that.
Yeah, which was also another problem for me. So yeah, but the other character that comes in towards the end of the movie, they feel so pointless. Really, I feel like it's kind of. I mean, it's something extra tacked on. I was like, yeah, you could have maybe left this. So, 2 streamits for The Running Man there. Do you think this is the weakest Edgar Wright movie you've seen?
No, Last Night in Soho.
Last Night in Soho, you think it's worse?
Yeah, that's the weakest one.
Okay. All right.
I think his best one is arguably Scott Pilgrim.
That's tough. Yeah.
That's tough. His best ones, he's made some good stuff, so it's hard to do the top one, but I think this one's fine. You can slide that, at least you can slide that above Last Night in Soho. No matter where you put it.
Yeah. I think looking at it, I think maybe this is my weakest from him. I think maybe. Yeah. But like I said, I haven't really loved one since Scott Pilgrim, and that was like 15 years ago. I was like, oh, it's been a more.
I mean, you also got to consider Edgar Wright also helped in. He also helped direct the sitcom Spaced. That was really fun. He's done other stuff. He's also done directing without writing for it. I enjoyed his adaptation of it may not be close to the books that inspired it, but I like that he helped adapt The Adventures of Tintin in 2011 for Steven Spielberg. I like the stuff he's worked on.
Yeah.
Which most people have forgotten about. Ant-Man, I was always curious to see what his Ant-Man would be, but seeing Baby Driver, especially like what that would have been like, I've been like, okay, I understand why they were like, I understand why Marvel was just like, we hear you, but we need something a bit more serious, a bit more cohesive to our world.
Yeah. And the closeout with the Cornetto trilogy, The World's End, I thought was kind of
the best one of those. It's a toss between Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
Yeah,
Hot Fuzz is Shaun of the Dead. I enjoy greatly. It's a great making fun of the zombie genre, which was very hot at that time. But I could rewatch Hot Fuzz every time. It's one of those. Hot Fuzz is one of those comfort like black comedies that I can just watch. It's pretty much everything I wanted out of a movie. At World's End is like, it's pretty good. It's all right. And then it goes to like, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our thoughts on that. Since I was already talking about Christy, I might as well Katie O'Brien.
Put on the fire.
Katie O'Brien and Christy over here.
She's the boxer, right?
Yeah, about Christy Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So our next review is going to be for the movie Christy. I saw it. Dust did not get a chance to see it. Like many other people, because this is if you listen to some of the movie news box office reports, this is not doing so well in the box office there in the history of film, actually. So it broke some history in a bad way. But this is starring Sydney Sweeney here. It's a biopic about the real life boxer Christy Martin there, when she rose to prominence there in the 90s to the 2000s to kind of the early 2010s there. And this woman was a trailblazer in female boxing. I mean, she had this great streak there. She was just knocking people out. I mean, as you see here, like left and right. It's like, you ever see that movie Goon with Sean William Scott?
Yeah.
Uh, it's like you can't skate for shit, but you got the hammer of God. Like you got the
Yeah.
fist of God. Like you know how to knock people out. And that's kind of like her deal there. Is that the movie kind of portrays as she's maybe not the most technically skilled person, but she knows how to really hit and she hits hard. And a lot of it kind of details that, and especially details her life with an unrecognizable Ben Foster in this,
Oh,
who
yeah.
plays Jim Martin,
That's Ben
who's
Foster?
yeah, Ben Foster, yeah,
Oh,
who's
wow.
under a lot of kind of prosthetics and everything, and makeup and everything like
Yeah,
that.
it looks like Biff from Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, he kind of does, he kind of does look like Biff, yeah. Back to the Future there, and yeah, he's Jim Martin, who's her husband slash trainer, and you see kind of this tumultuous relationship that the two of them had, especially with Christy Martin, who was a lesbian,
Mhm.
and she was kind of keeping that a secret, during this time, especially where she grew up. She grew up in West Virginia, which I think it probably would have been more appropriate if she was dating her brother rather than a woman, probably in West Virginia, but yeah, you see that, that's kind of a big contention point, like her family, it's like an embarrassing thing for the rumor to be out there that she's with women. So she marries this guy and kind of tries to keep that suppressed. And it's really, yes, it's a very formulaic sports biopic in terms of the rise, a little bit of the fall that you see with this person and their life. But what kind of really comes in here that makes it a little bit, I think, stand above is the performances from Sydney Sweeney, is the performance from Ben Foster, and kind of how much of just evil that this guy was, Jim
Mm.
Martin, because it's almost like this guy, it's like he read Abusers for Dummies, like where everything he does is like classic abuser techniques. Like he isolates her from her family and friends. He
Mm.
monitors all her conversations, who she talks to, where she goes. He even has cameras in the house watching her.
Damn.
He even gets her addicted to drugs so he can, control her that way. There's even something in the movie where they only show this briefly, but maybe he also, got her involved in prostitution, sex work. He was pimping her out, different things like that. And yeah, and if you know the real story of kind of what the conclusion of that was, I won't say what is there, but very dark kind of ending there to that, and where it kind of ends up
Mm.
towards the end of it was very, very kind of shocking there. I didn't know the story of her. I'd never heard of her before this movie, so this was interesting to kind of figure that out, and then looking up more about it was also kind of interesting to see that as well. But yeah, and talk about a little bit of the look of Ben Foster in this, Jim Martin, but also the look of Sydney Sweeney. I mean, she put on, I think it was like they said, about 10, 20 pounds of muscle for this role there. And so she physically
Good on
looks
her.
kind of different. Looks kind of different there. So, bravo to her for that. And I think she's really putting herself out there in terms of that. And I think it kind of works there. So yes, it's like I said, kind of formulaic in that sense, but I think the performance kind of elevate the material, and the story itself is kind of a bleak story as well, with kind of all the things that this person kind of went through. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked it. And I think it's a good story if people want to kind of check it out there. I'd give it a lowish tune in, regular tune in for me. Did you already know about Christy Martin already?
I only knew vaguely about Christy, mostly from the boxing and how things almost ended, so to speak,
Okay.
without
Yeah.
spoiling it. So that's about all I knew too much about it.
Okay.
Oh, and that and like the situation that I think originally Ruby Rose was initially going to play a character in this movie, and then she didn't, and then she did a whole tirade recently on Twitter. Oh, did a brief one, and how the script was different from how when she originally read it, and it was more on the fact that she was about Christy being a lesbian, and how that original script was more focused on that, and and this and that, and then it felt like it was taken. Like, she's got a lot. Ruby's got a lot of, like, they ruined the biopic.
Yeah,
And
yeah. She
from
called
what,
her a
yeah,
cretin.
yeah, no, Ruby was quite mad about it, but from what you're telling me, it seems like they focused on Christy as a person in her life,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, for the most part, they did. I mean, the
And the
boxing
fact that,
stuff they
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, the boxing stuff they did. The boxing scenes aren't the most interesting part of the movie. I mean, they're not
Mhm.
really all done all that well. I mean, it's no like Creed or anything like that.
Sure.
And the fights usually relatively end pretty quick. Like you just see her throw a couple punches and then boom, she knocks the person out and then that's it.
I
So
mean,
it's not the most interesting
most
thing. That
boxing actually ends up being that way.
really okay. I don't watch a whole lot of
Okay, so
boxing.
boxing can go a couple of rounds, don't get me wrong, but that's why, like the Manny Pacquiao fight, and they were waiting for that Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor, and that went like 3-ish rounds, 3, 4-ish rounds. Rounds
Mm,
don't go for quite a bit, and so most, boxing matches either end really quickly or drag.
mm,
So that's
okay.
kinda how it goes. It's either over in a flash or it goes on and on and on.
Yeah. And the only fight that goes kinda a little bit long for her is the, one of the fights she has with Katie O'Brien, who shows up in this, who comes back later in the movie. But
Mhm.
interesting that Ruby Rose was supposed to be Christy in it, 'cause
She
Christy, I
wasn't
mean,
supposed to be Christy, she was gonna be Cherry.
oh, she's gonna be Cherry. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Because I was gonna say, yeah, she's maybe a little too old to be Christy,
Yeah,
especially
no,
when
she
the
was
movie's
gonna be Cherry, and that too, so that she wasn't gonna be the main girl, but she's like the original script was this, and that, and I honestly, I'm actually glad that this movie focuses more on just Christy as a person who is a boxer and also happens to be a lesbian, and not just that's the whole thing, and also,
mm,
but more focuses on someone who's in an abusive relationship.
yeah. And I could see a little bit of, I guess a little bit of maybe you would want to maybe have that to explore a little bit more of that. I could maybe see
Eh,
that. But
yeah.
I still think it was, decent at showing her life there and also just showing who this person was there.
Mm.
And I think there's like a 30 for 30 of her, I think, out there, I believe.
Cool.
And I'd check that out. I'd check
Yeah.
that out there of seeing that.
Did you
Uh,
like it more than Smashing Machine?
Uh, I like it more. This is kind of some. I mean, it's funny because we talked about Smash Machine and we
Mhm.
said that it's trying so hard not to be formulaic
Yeah.
that it kind of messes up. I mean, I think maybe I did. I think I did like this more than Smash Machine. I think.
Ooh.
I think maybe the performance from The Rock is better than maybe some performances in this. But Ben
Mhm.
Foster's really good. I think he's very creepy in this and very disturbing in this. And if you know Ben Foster from other movies he's been in, like Alpha Dog, I remember him in that movie, or
Oh my god,
um,
Alpha Dog, that takes me back.
like he plays a psycho in that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that the first thing I ever saw him in. Yeah, like he's really terrifying in that. And then yeah, The Rock, I mean, I think he's maybe slightly better, but yeah, I think maybe I like Christy better than the Smash Machine, I think. I mean,
Okay.
I think it has a little
So what's your rating?
Christy, I give it a tune in for that.
Okay.
I just give it a plain kind of tune in. I forgot what did we give Smash Machine? We gave that a
Oh my
tune in.
god. I think we both gave it stream it's.
Stream it? Okay. I'll
I
take
think
your
we
word
gave it a
for it.
stream it. Either that or a low tune in from you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think yeah, low tune in. Yeah, I think that's what I gave it. The family, I mean, the kind of the weakest element there was kind of the family stuff
Mm.
with this, where the family's like very one note. Like
Oh.
the mother, I mean, she's like literally like her nose is all up in the air. Like she's looking down on her
Damn.
daughter and stuff there. And she, you know, doesn't believe her daughter at all, even when her daughter's trying to come to her, tell her about what's happening, which
Damn.
is heartbreaking for sure, and everything like that. But a lot of the family stuff is like super one note there with that.
I got see.
Um, yeah, so that's kind of one of the weaker elements of the movie, but they're not in the movie all that much
Oh, okay.
there with that. So yeah, that was my review, Christy. Uh, all right, let's do some Predator Badlands here.
Mhm.
Step into the Badlands, man. What's going on here?
Predator, Disney's Predator.
Disney's Predator, Predator Badlands. Here we go. Man, 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 man. Oh man, here we go. All right. So our next review of the day is going to be for the film Predator Badlands. Predator Badlands. Directed by Dan Trachtenberg, and this is his third Predator movie there in the franchise of Predator. His first one being Prey, his other one being Predator Killer of the Killers, and now this one. And we've reviewed all of them.
Mhm.
We actually just did another review for Prey just recently there. And what is this one about? Well, in this film here, you have a young Yautja, who Yautja is the species of the predator there that you've seen in the movies before, and he's a runt of the litter there. And this is Dak there, who is much smaller than the other predators we see. Because usually predators, I think, about like 9 feet tall. He's more
Oh
like
yeah,
7.
they're big.
Yeah. And he wants to prove himself, and the way that predators, the Yautja, prove themselves is they have to have a hunt there. They have to pick something, go there, kill it, bring it back to the clan in order to be initiated into it and finally ascend to being part of the clan. That's their kind of ritual. And what that chooses to kill is one of the toughest creatures that any predator has kind of encountered before, which is the callus. So he has to go to this planet and kill it and kind of bring it back. So it sets him off there on this journey to do that. And along his journey to this dangerous planet, which everything on this planet can basically kill you. The plants can kill you, the trees can kill you, the eels can kill you. I mean, everything you can possibly imagine. I think even if you drink the water will kill you. Yeah, he meets Elle Fanning's character, who she's playing a dual role in this as a Wayland Yutani synthetic. But the first one he meets and pairs up with is Thea,
Yeah.
who he meets there, and only half of her is present. So he has to kind of carry her around as a backpack there. And she helps him guide him to his creature that he wants to hunt, which is the callus there. So it's kind of this buddy road trip type movie there with Dak and Thea. So Dusk, what are your thoughts, man? Predator Badlands.
Uh, this movie its action is fine. It's pretty serviceable stuff when it comes to it. I do like some of the vine parts or some of the quick action. It's fine. It's pretty solid. CGI is not bad, honestly, all things considered. I still don't know how I feel. I know how I feel about Dex makeup. I just think he looks like a terrible predator. I just don't like it. I know they were trying to condense his face in to try and humanize him, but it just doesn't work. Uh, I think the story is very simple, and it definitely feels very Disneyfied. We can't have nobody really bleeds here. We can't really kill any people. Uh, we can kill monsters. You can kill plants. You can kill anything that's trying to kill them. We got to have a cute animal that shows up at some point, and he has to have daddy issues because that's what I want to see in a Predator movie.
Mm. And so you speak. I mean, this movie is PG-13. And I kind of worried it being PG-13 of as far as can it get as violent there? Are they going to kind of push that? And there are no human characters in this movie. Everybody is either an alien kind of species there, or it's a synthetic robot. So, the stuff that you see in here, the blood, it's all green or white or, something like that. So it's no real blood. So they can get away with kind of a lot of stuff there when that kind of happens, which was kind of a big thing. So that's kind of a way they skirt around some of those violence things of maybe having a more hard R or NC-17 type rating there, but it
Yeah.
didn't really impact me that much. I think seeing the movie, I was like, okay, I still think it still has the good amount of violence in it. I mean, even if it is PG-13, it's just like it's not blood or anything like that.
Right.
So that didn't really kind of bother me too much for that. Well, are you gonna say something more?
No, I'm just agreeing with you. I'm nodding.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so that didn't really kind of bother me too much. And I like the fact that, there are no human characters in this. I mean, I guess you can kind of say that, okay, well, synthetic, which are these android type things, which are supposed to resemble humans, so it's kind of still similar. But having the lead character of this be a Yautja, be this kind of alien creature there, and I spoke about this before, and I don't know, have you read any extended material of Predator or anything like
I
that?
read a collection of the Dark Horse comics they did way back when. Uh,
Okay.
so I've read what they've done with the expansion on the Yachtja and giving them a name and some of their customs. Usually, most of the comics that involve them are usually AVP, Alien versus Predator, or they're just going on their own hunt, and you get very little dialogue from the Predators.
Okay.
Very little. Even in their own things, they're treated very mysteriously, and they try to avoid conversation as much as possible. But usually, there are three basic principles when it comes to a predator. Uh, they are hunters. They usually want to get the best game because that's a form of honor for them, and they have some technology. All of it entails of them being a hunter. That's really about it. There are some politics, of course, like bigger, which are introduced later, like bigger predators or different species of predators within it, and they have their own schisms in their own empire. But for the most part, they keep it pretty simple, and that worked.
Mm,
Uh, they have some of that element in here, but some of it's also of their own. If I'm being perfectly honest, so
yeah. I
oh
mean,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, the story here is, yeah, very simple, and I bring up asking you about the extended material because,
Yeah,
in the movies so far, we haven't seen the Predator ever talk. And
yeah,
here, they created a whole language for the, Yacho species there, and did all that, and the actors had to kind of learn it and everything like that. And then you mentioned the makeup and kind of visual effects there. So of course, they have the practical effects. I mean, you saw some set photos; they had that, but they added some visual effects to make the Predator more
right.
expressive, his eyes and everything like that. And I think it does a good job at that. Like, you see when he's scared, you see when he's anxious, you see when he's angry, you see when he's even maybe cracking a smile, even though he doesn't have, I guess, lips technically. So you kind of see all those things. And I kind of like that. And I liked having the Yautja be kind of having this range of emotion there and not just being this one dimensional kind of thing. And I guess it depends on what you want. Do you want to see that? Is that something that interests you or not? Are you just very rigid and maybe like, I only want to see the Predator as this one thing and as this killing machine, and then that's it? I mean, it
Mhm.
kind of depends on what you kind of want there. I mean, do you feel like you're kind of maybe like, I only want to see the Predator just be the threat, just be the killing machine there?
I
Does
mean,
that
you
work?
can, but you can also do an entire movie where you can have a mostly quiet character and it still be engaging and going on. This felt like a Mandalorian script that was just thrown together but had Predator in it. That's what this felt like. Right down to to the baby Yoda character that's introduced, and to Thea. I like Fanning. I like her
Mhm.
well enough. I think she's a fine actress. I would like her more in this if she didn't keep talking throughout the entire thing of this. She never shuts up in the entire thing, this entire time. And it got really distracting after a certain point where I'm just like, why is he tolerating this? Why is he just like she just it's just got really annoying. She was
Mhm.
just insufferable. It's like you don't need to keep talking every 5 seconds for me to know that you're there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the bulk of it is in the beginning of it when he like first meets her and then first puts her on his back. I feel like that's pretty much the bulk of it. And then the rest of it is kind of just, I think she doesn't talk as much there. I didn't mind it really. I mean, so much. I mean, I think she's the main kind of comedic relief of the movie, pretty much. I mean, you do have the cute animal sidekick there.
We can't forget
Who,
about that. Disney won't let you forget about that.
they love their cute animal sidekicks. I mean,
They
that's always a
do.
big
Boy,
big
howdy do
thing.
they.
And they might sell some good plushies and toys of him. They called it a Bud, right? They called it Bud
Yeah.
was the creature's name. Um, and yeah, I mean, to me, I think that was mostly in the first half of the movie, and then the rest of it kind of, I think, evened out there for it. And what did you think about her playing the dual role where she's also Tess? What did you think about that? Did you
I
like
think
that
that's
better, Tessa?
fine. She does a fine enough job. I
Okay.
I think she does okay for what they're given. I just wish what they were given was more interesting. I look, I'm fine with the predator that can talk and that's talking in its own language. I'm fine with the characters and back and forth and seeing that. In the Dark Horse comics, they did that as well. Predators would occasionally talk to each other. You would see more of the gambit. The hunts would be expanded. You go to strange alien planets. I'm not against showing more in this world. I just wish it wasn't just so. I guess it's weird looking at this character, seeing what they've kind of done, and they made him this runt, but that changed his face and had him be in this design. And then you look back at what the Predator and Predator 2 and what those Yacha look like. And you're just like, yeah, that's what a Predator is. And then you see this and you're just like,
Yeah. But also, weren't those
Mhm.
different types of predators? So it's not
There are some, but all of them have adhered to the principle of what they have. Uh, First of all, those little the dreads that they have isn't hair. It's not like something they can just braid up or what have you. It's just a part of their body.
mm,
So like the
yeah.
way he like wears it and like strips it on the back and like makes it into like a ponytail, that's not how that works.
Mm, okay. What is the purpose of it? Right.
I'm gonna be honest, it just looks to look it's a rule of cool, but there is a purpose of like the dreads. I forget the exact reason. I'm sure
Okay.
there's a nerd that could give you the reason based on the comics, but
Yeah.
there's just a lot of elements in it that I'm like, okay, this is fine. Like as a movie in itself, if you didn't put the Predator name on it, I thought this would be a solid-ish sci-fi movie. That'd be like, okay, like if you called this Alien Hunter and
Mm.
just called it Alien Hunter and be like, okay, that was
Put
not
it
bad.
on Sci-Fi Network, Tubi,
Yeah, I'd be like,
Alien
oh,
Hunter.
it's pretty good. It was all right. It's not bad. But this is Predator. This is a big franchise. I expected a little bit more from this. I'm gonna be honest. I expected more from this,
Mm.
and I was
Okay.
just not that impressed. I mean, I don't think it's not as bad as what they did with Alien Earth, where they turned the alien into a dog.
Mm.
So that's a
Hey,
low bar.
I was going there, Hunter. Hunter said if they wanted to make the Predator terrifying, he'd be have a terrible orange
Don't
tan.
bring politics.
I was going there, Hunter. Good to see you, man. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what you want there. If what are you expecting out of the Predator franchise? Because I mean, Dan Trachtenberg. I mean, I think I read a statement of his, if I remember correctly, where he said like, we want to do something else. We want to do something kind of different there as far as pushing the Predator franchise, like not the same things over.
Yeah.
And he did Prey, which Prey was. I mean, I love Prey, and I think Prey is really great. But it was very similar elements to the first Predator that had kind of going on there, where the predator drops down and then they got to fight the predator and everything like that and kind of outsmart the predator. And then he did
Mhm.
Predator Killer of Killers. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I thought Prey was okay.
Okay.
I'm
And then
not
what about,
look, I'm gonna be honest, everything he's done, I haven't really super enjoyed. I don't
okay.
like the direction he's taken it in. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest. I just don't think it's not very Predator focused. I think it's he takes a situation, he kind of brings it in. Prey is fine, but all
Mm,
things considered, what the Prey slash Alien medium can be, I think he's just doing the bare minimum.
And
And
what
even
about
then, I don't think he's doing too great.
Killer of Killers? Do you,
Uh, it has a really stupid ending, but some of it was fun.
mm. And then Hunter said, as someone who's read a lot of the Dark Horse comics and Predator slash Alien and other mediums, is this better or worse than Prey? I don't think it's better than Prey, but I do think I do like it a lot. I
Prey is
definitely.
simpler, and it worked. Prey is far more simple, and it both suffers and triumphs under that simplicity.
Yeah. I think I prefer Prey over this, but this doesn't mean
Mhm.
this is I think it's bad. I greatly enjoyed it. I think, and I can already tell I liked it way more than you.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun watching this as well there.
Mhm.
And I think the performances are also really good there. I mean, the story in this is simple too. I mean, it ain't that I mean, it's an honor story. I mean, he's trying to do that and everything. And okay, it's a hero classic heroes type of journey type of thing. Kind of starts off like a fetch quest, like
Mhm.
okay. But I do think like Demetrius Schuster Colomatega, who does play Deck in this, who the physical, I mean, just the physical performance of him is really great. What he does with that, and I think he makes his presence known in the kind of movie there, with it, acting behind all of this prosthetics and makeup and all these visual effects. I think he still shines through in that element. I really kind of like him there in that, and I like what Elle Fanning does in this as well, playing the dual roles. And like I said, is it a very Disney-fied type of movie there with the Predator? Oh yeah, I can definitely see that with
Mhm.
it. Um, but I also see that this is something like I haven't seen because I haven't read the Dark Horse comics. I haven't read the other mediums there of
Yeah.
this, of seeing the Predator and expanding it, like seeing a little bit of his home planet, seeing more of kind of his culture and everything like that. Um, and seeing kind of all that, and then the dynamics between kind of the Predator species there. And I mean the difference of how he looks compared to other ones, which I think isn't that kind of the point there of how he's supposed to look very different?
Again, him looking different, that's fine. I just wish it didn't look like shit.
Mm. Yeah, I
I
think
don't like,
yeah.
again, I understand, like, the premise behind this is fine. I just wish it was better.
Mm,
I didn't like the fact that there was "Oh, man," because it just feels so Disney. Gotta
mm,
have family problems, gotta have friendship. Friends are the new family. When it's the Predators are very much a loyal and very specific type of tribe. They're gonna have, like, the way just the whole story premise in it is just not would not be conducive to what, even in the extended universe, of what Predators would do. If
mm,
nothing else, Predators are their own species. They very much are high on honor. What that honor technically details is up in the air. Some are more honorable, some are less honorable. But at the end of the day, they do usually kill with somewhat of a purpose, even if it's for a trophy. They're not a good species. They're usually not the good guys, but they do, at least you do understand them. They're not super complicated. And so when you go in a story premise alone that goes and says, yeah, but we're just gonna tell a different story and a message for this. That kind of, it takes me. It's like, oh, it's the usual suspects of Disney. Gotta pull back on this. Gotta scrub this down. Gotta change this. And
mm,
again, I actually don't mind if the premise of the whole movie was, hey, in order to become a man as a predator, and you want to really show off, go and survive on this planet. Try and kill one of the top beasts. I would be totally down for that. If that was the premise alone, and you just see this individual's this Yacha's journey and wants to prove themselves, like, the premise is solid. I just wish they handled it better. I wish he
mm,
didn't look like shit. I wish he looked like an actual predator. Yeah, you can have him be smaller. You can even have him be, like, weaker in a sense that he tries to use his knowledge and skills to get by. But I mean, they sort of do that, but then they capitulate in certain areas. So I'm just like, you didn't need to do that.
mm. What do you think about the way the other Yautja look?
I thought the other Yacha looked fine actually.
Okay.
They look like they felt closer to what you're kind of going for a proper Yacha.
Mm. Hunter said there. That's interesting because I thought Prey was excellent. So I'm curious what I'll think of this. Dusk, did you like the Last Planet of the Apes more than this?
Uh,
Was it Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
yeah, actually, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen the last one.
Oh, okay.
I've
Yeah.
seen the I've seen most of them. I haven't seen the very last. Oh, no! I did. No, I did. You're right. I did see Kingdom, the latest one, the fourth. I thought you were talking about. I almost blanked for a moment. Yeah, no. I actually I could separate myself. That's a tough call, actually.
Mm.
Mm. You know
I
what?
think.
Go
I don't
ahead.
know.
Go ahead.
I
Mm.
mean, I don't know. It's weird that he brought up. I don't know why he brought up the Last Planet of the Apes. I mean,
I
what?
don't
I
know why
mean,
you brought that up, but
I don't know what
I
they. I
guess
mean,
for
they're
like
both sci-fi movies, but I don't know
yeah,
what
they're
else what they.
sci-fi in their own thing. They're actually
Mm,
similar in a lot of ways, where it's taking a premise where they has a very established narrative and then tries to do something different. So I
mm,
can see that. Uh, although the last one, the fourth one, that one tried to be more on the, I guess, like one of the sequels to Planet of the Apes. By the way, all the sequels to the Planet of the Apes are usually pretty bad. They're not
mm.
that good. They're very schlocky. At one point, they're underground and they set off nukes underground and they have mole people. It's nuts. Uh, I would say I don't know if you're asking me that. I guess compared to Last Planet of the Apes, I don't know, man. I guess this maybe it was
Mm.
shorter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I forgot. I mean, it's over 2 hours. I think Kingdom is.
Yeah,
It's
that
over
like
2 hours.
if you shorten down that one, I'd be like, okay, I could. That's one. This one's at least shorter.
Yeah. Yeah. The running pace on this is brisk
Yeah,
with
that's probably
Badlands.
its best thing I'll give it is it's actually pretty brisk.
But yeah, I mean, I had a really enjoyable, fun time watching it. I was thinking
Mm,
about seeing it again. I just haven't gotten a chance to.
mm.
Yeah, but I'd see it for a second time,
Oh wow,
for
okay.
sure. Because I did have a lot of fun with this and kind of enjoyed it there. And the action is good when it needs to be. I think yes, it's very simplistic, and then even some of the characters, I mean, are very kind of simplistic here as well. But they know how to work with the simplicity of it, I think, and still make it pretty enjoyable and pretty. I mean, is it cute? I mean, yes, it's kind of cute. Do
Mhm.
you want your Predator movie to be cute a little bit? Maybe you don't, and that does seem like he doesn't. He
No,
doesn't
I
want that.
don't.
And I mean, that's kind of maybe going to be a big sticking point for some people there. But I still think it's still brutal when it needs to be. I think with some of the action sequences here, I still think it does that. And the dynamic between Deck and Thea, I think is great. And then when Bud kind of comes in, like you said, very much it does have those kind of Disney things with it. But I think Dan Trachtenberg, I liked a lot what he did with Prey. I liked a lot what he did with Killer of Killers, and I liked a lot what he did with Hair Badlands. And I think he wants to, every movie that he's done in the franchise, it seems like he's doing something a little different in it and playing in it. And also, it seems like with this as well, having the Wayland Yutani, the synthetic in it. I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's building up to we're going to get another Alien maybe versus Predator movie or team up of those two franchises
Good
directly
luck.
with the Xenomorph or
Yeah, good
something
luck, Disney.
going on there. It's gonna
Because
be it's
that
gonna
one's gonna have to be R-rated. You can't PG-13 your way out of that.
Yeah. You don't think there'll be a movie just straight up with xenomorphs and synthetics and Yautja? You think it has to be a human in there?
I think I think it has to be humans because it has to be humans, yeah, humans, predators, and aliens. Because otherwise, what's the stakes? You just gonna get ripped in half. Who cares? You just build another one.
Well, I mean, you
They're
can't build
synths.
another
They're
Predator.
androids, especially in the alien universe.
Well, I mean, Deck has like a special connect. So even if you kill Thea, I mean, it's not like he can go and then
I know that,
d-
but you also have to like. There's like one of them. I mean, you can care about them, but a whole group of synths, a whole group of them. I don't think. I just don't think the audience is just gonna care that much. They might care about one or two synths in a group of people, but as a whole group of synths
what about
against
the
aliens.
Yautja?
By the
What
way,
about the
also, it can't be a group of synths because aliens won't interact with synths. They'll ignore them.
Yeah. You don't think people care about the Yautja?
No, you can make people care about the Yautja to an extent, but you have to also understand the Yautja are hunters at the end of the day. They're not good guys. They're just
Hmm.
another enemy. They're just another thing. That's the aspect of it. It's just another combatant in the war. Between the
Hmm.
lesser evils, I'll choose a Yautja over the aliens, the xenomorphs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
over that, I'll take that easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've seen Yautja team up because in Alien
Yeah,
VP they teamed up with humans to take down the
even in
xenomorphs.
the
And
Dark Horse comics, they've occasionally teamed up. The humans and the Yautja have teamed up against aliens. It's
yeah,
always a truce. It's always like a temporary truce. That's what makes them interesting.
So there's that.
But yeah, you couldn't really do a whole thing of synths because the aliens would legitimately will not interact with synths because they're synthoids.
Yeah, because they can't breed from the sense there.
Exactly. So they just stare at them and then walk away.
Yeah, I mean, if they get in the way, they would kill them.
Oh yeah, yeah. If they get in the way, they'll tear them apart. But
yeah, they do that there. Hunter said, "I'm curious how I'll feel on this one then, because I like like the last Planet of the Apes. How does this compare to something like Alien Earth? I think it's better than Alien Earth. I think Alien Earth has a lot of problems. I don't hate Earth like most people maybe do, or well, I don't want to say most people do. It's divisive. It's some people really like it, some people really hate it. Some people kind of just meh on it. I'm more just kind of meh on it. I thought I lean more on the side. I think it's okay, but I think it has a lot of issues in terms of that. With that, but I'll let you go ahead as well with that.
yeah, this is better than Alien Earth.
Yeah,
If I had to make that choice, this is better than Alien Earth. A, it's shorter, and B, it literally doesn't like people make stupid-ish decisions in this. In Alien Earth, they're genuinely stupid. Like some of the most moronic decisions I've ever seen in writing. And I was just like staring aghast at the screen at the decisions they made, especially when they had the whole, oh, this crew is on this ship. And all the decisions those Marines made were some of the dumbest fucking decisions I've ever seen. Like, my God, the entire time you thought, oh, the synth guy, he's a real bad guy. And then you're just like, no, I feel for that guy. I want them all to die too. They're too stupid to live.
Yeah. And it's more simplistic. I mean, it's kind of just it has an easy goal there with
Yeah,
this.
it's hard to screw up something simple.
Yeah. What would be your final thoughts rating for Predator Badlands?
At the end of the day, again, if you divorce I divorce it from the Predators as a whole because it's so different, it's so not connected that I can almost in a weird way go like it's Alien Hunter in space, into Badlands. The action's fine. I thought that's the best part of it, honestly. And with that, I'll kind of just I'll give it like I'll give it a stream it.
Stream. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like I said, really had a lot of fun with this. Enjoyed it quite a bit. The story, simple story, but I think it's executed in a fun, engaging manner. It's a classic underdog type story. You want to see Dick kind of make it, and you want to see him prove himself. You got that going on. And I think you're rooting from there. And I like to show the Predator. I like where they show the species, and show all the range of kind of different emotions that the Yautja with Deck has there going on. I think that made you really feel for him. And then I like the fact that there was no human characters in this, that it made you have the lead of this movie be the Yautja. I greatly enjoyed that there. It's something I haven't seen in one of these Predator movies before there. And having part of the movie also with the Yautja subtitle, as well, I think is very good as well there, where you're kind of reading that. I think that's very good. Action to me is enjoyable there. And how it kind of, even when it does something a little different from kind of Predator there, it still kind of goes back to its roots there of what it kind of what the franchise is all about, the kind of bare bones of it in its essence. And I like that quite a bit. The dynamic between the two of them, Elle Fanning and Demetrius Schuster is I think also very good. Yeah, but like I say, it depends on what you want from your Predator kind of franchise there, and what you're kind of looking, from it. Me, I'd give it a strong tune in, for me, with Predator Badlands. So tune in. I mean, yeah, strong tune in for me, and just to stream it, from Dust there, for Predator Badlands there. Um, with the, I know it kind of sets up a little bit of the kind of maybe a sequel. I don't know if they're going to do Aliens versus Predators. I guess that's what that's what's going to be the team up version of it.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. So what do you want from, if they do another movie? What do you want? Maybe.
There's so many ways they could go about doing another movie that they haven't even tried. I mean, I would have loved to have seen a ritualistic hunt with the Yautja, and it's There's ritualistic when they go to a planet and they compete on who's the best hunter, and you get very little dialogue between the Yacha, very very little. It's all nods, head, maybe some like language, head nods or body language, and you just get some, and you let the visuals, and it's relatively short, maybe 90 minutes. You get to see some really cool elements, some cool hunts, and maybe some of them survive, maybe some of them don't, and you just get to see a day in the life of an actual competition of hunters. That'd be really interesting. They could go. There was a game way back when that was Predators the game, where as punishment for failing on disclosing themselves to humans or a few other things, they just threw the and nuking basically the city. Their punishment for him doing something dishonorable was just throwing him into basically a dystopian future on Earth, and they just threw him and waited it out and had him go into the future. And that'd be interesting to see a future in the future cyberpunk or future of humanity, Wailing Yutani on Earth, and a predator shows up in the city.
Okay.
That I'd actually be really interested in seeing that. You could do a lot of cool things with that. Kind of be like a proper Predator 3. See how things kind of go and see what you can do in that kind of environment, especially with the newer technology. It's going to be interesting. And it could do an interesting where almost the Predator has to be low tech in order to catch the humans who now have more advanced tech, getting more advanced. They have to go lower tech in order to outmaneuver them.
So you kind of want the predator to be like the humans in the early
human predator, other predators and predator, or just predator and other alien species. Do something interesting and fun and really just kind of push it. It's an interesting sci-fi concept of space hunters. And they just kind of pigeonhole them and, we're just going to hunt humans. There are other shit that they hunt. There are other things. There are other rituals that they do. There are other hunting parties that they go on. I've always been interested in seeing, like, especially by the end of Predator 2, when it's this, after Danny Glover survives his fight and he's just surrounded by like 5 or 6 other predators that were on that ship. That was one guy. That was his hunting as a test. And so he won. Here's your prize. It'd be interesting to see, let's see other hunting parties. Let's see other dynamics. I don't have to have them talking and breaking the mystique of a predator. Make it quiet. The whole original Predator movie was a action movie in the disguise of a horror movie. It lured you in with the idea that it was a commando or a really good action movie. And then it started pulling back the layers of what this movie actually was. It'd be interesting to see the Predators kind of get more closer to a horror route. That, no, even these badass hunters, they're afraid of things. There are things that they hunt that they may not have experience on. It doesn't always have to be humans. Maybe there are other alien species that are more more advanced that they are, and they avoid for reasons.
Yeah. Well, they said they avoided the callus, and a lot of people didn't avoid that on this planet. So
there's other species. There are plenty possible other sentient species that are out there as well. Aliens are just the only one. The Yacha tend to keep themselves and try to cloak and try to not show themselves off, which is why they want to keep their hunts successful, is that they try not to go as unnoticed as possible. Unless you're Alien versus Predator in that movie, and they're like, they just showed themselves to the ancient civilizations.
Hunter said, what I found more often outside of the friends or family trope, Dust hates movies that bore him, and this sounds like he was bored at multiple points. I don't know. Well, you said you had fun with the action, right? You enjoyed that.
I don't mind the friends or family trope. I'm just tired of it.
What was the last movie you saw then?
Oh my god, this one. Oh my god. Almost every single Disney is like friends or family, but the power of friendship. It doesn't work. It works sparingly.
I mean, that's kind of just kids' movies in general.
But I don't mind, again, for a simple kids movie, or like for kids' movies, it can have the friends as family. That's fine. That's not a bad thing to have. But it's very much in a lot of adult movies, they kind of break it down to that simple measure. Look, I like the movie Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt's basically what if his friends are family trope.
Is that the movie with David Spade in
Yeah,
it?
this is the one with David Spade. I like that. But you know what? That was a comedy. It
So you
still had
want
a
like
little
a
heart. I don't hate the entire trope. I just hate how it's been utilized lately.
yeah. I can see that. Yeah, overused maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hunter said that annoyed me so much with the family in the last Jurassic Park with the trailer. Well,
Yeah.
that movie sucks. So
Yeah.
that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a crutch. The friends or family trope is a crutch. It doesn't mean it's a bad trope, but it's been used so often. It's often used as a crutch.
Yeah. I just got one last review, and then that's
Yeah.
it. All right, let me do this quick review here.
Die, my love.
All right. Last review of the day is going to be for the film Die My Love. Die My Love is a movie starring there Robert Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence there. Jennifer Lawrence, people I know, of course, from the Hunger Games series there. She also won an Oscar way back when she did Winter's Bone there. Robert Pattinson, known for a variety of different things. I mean, he's Batman. I mean, of course, he's Batman now. And so what is this movie about here? So you have a young couple there that you see in Robert Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence. They move out kind of a little bit of kind of this middle of nowhere type house there. And you see at first the beginning, they're in love, they're, hanging out and everything. And they have something that changes the course of their life that fucks everything up. They have a kid. And once they have a kid, just the dynamic completely changes between them. And you see that Jennifer Lawrence is basically stuck in this house all day with this child, while Robert Pattinson, I don't remember if it says exactly specifically what he does for a living, but it's something that takes him away from the house a lot, leaving her kind of alone. And and she's kind of the movie doesn't really say it, but I think it's heavily implied that she has postpartum depression. And you're just basically seeing her, this woman, deal with postpartum depression, dealing with the symptoms of that, how she can be very erratic, how she can be very unpredictable. And you see kind of the fallout of all these different relationships she has because of the way she is. I mean, look at all the crazy shit she's doing. I mean, see her bang her head against a mirror, scratching the walls. I mean, doing all this. Like it gets very surreal at a lot of points. And there's even points because she's going through this kind of depressive state. She hallucinates, and you don't know kind of sometimes what is real, what isn't.
So this is
real.
a very much a unreliable narrator movie.
Somewhat, yeah, somewhat there. You kind of don't know a lot of the stuff she's seeing is real. Like she's envisioning this guy who's on a motorcycle bike. You don't know if he's real, if he isn't real, kind of what's going on with that. So and this movie's directed by Lynn Ramsey there, Lynn Ramsey. And I don't think I've seen some of her early other work there.
She's
Yes.
we need to talk about Kevin.
Yeah, very Mother. If you saw that movie Mother, which was
God,
that Darren Aronofsky movie.
Yeah, Darren Aronofsky, Mother. Yes, that was the vibe it was giving me too from these trailers.
Yeah. Which is another movie that Jennifer Lawrence starred in as well. It very much is kind of similar to that. It doesn't go as far as Mother, I would say, as far as how surreal it gets, but it's very similar to something like that. Like you said, she did We Need to Talk About Kevin, which I did see that movie with. That was the movie with Tilda Swinton and Ezra Miller, and that was very creepy.
Early Ezra Miller, one of his earliest roles.
Yeah, turns out he wasn't playing a role with.
No, it turns out he was really good in that role because he was.
Yeah, so I did see that, and I like that. I thought that was kind of creepy and kind of good there. It has kind of similar vibes as that as well. Like she's very focused on, it seems like, character study movies, like focus on kind of on one person. And kind of their journey.
Yeah, very much the I hate myself, or the world kind of sucks, or the things that we don't want to talk about, basically. A lot of her work is, we don't want to talk about this. And her whole career is, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, seems like that is there. So that's what you kind of got there with this. I think the performance, I mean, Jennifer Lawrence, I think is very good, and she kind of bears all in this. I mean, in more ways than one. She does have multiple kind of nude scenes in the movie, but I think that this is great. I'm sorry. But I do think she kind of bears all there, like I said, more ways than one with with her kind of performance there. But I
I mean,
don't
she's a
think her
beautiful
being
young lady.
yeah, and I don't think that it's done in like a look at her to be naked. I just think it just look at it just like it's she's out there, her human body. It's just a thing there.
It's
Uh,
evocative.
yeah, I wouldn't say even kind of that, but it's
Mhm,
just kind of she's just yeah, kind of just showing and especially having a kid afterwards, kind of what it does to a
mhm,
mother there. I think there's some symbolism there with that. Um, and the distance between that she's having between her and Robert Pattinson, you kind of feel that a little bit there. This kind of distressing nature, the strain on the relationship. I think the reason I'm not really into this as much is
mhm,
I do think it gets very repetitive. It's kind of like once you see it once or twice of what she kind of does, it's kind of like, okay, she does that throughout the movie. Like once you see her freak out doing some weird stuff, okay, then some other scenes go by, then you see her freak out, do some more weird stuff and do more weird stuff. And it's like, okay, it eventually kind of gets a little kind of just repetitive and kind of bothersome after a while. And it's funny seeing this movie because I just saw another movie that kind of had a similar subject in which, If I Had Legs, I Should Kick You, which was the movie with Rose Byrne in it, which I like a lot. I reviewed it there and I liked it quite a bit. And I think the difference between these two movies is I think whereas If I Had Legs, I Should Kick You, I think there's a more progression to the story. There's more
mm,
kind of happening there and this woman being overwhelmed by life and is more kind of working towards goals is where here it just kind of feels like, okay, you can have slice of the life type things and even this kind of feeling, but it just feels like there really is like, okay, where are we really going with this? And where is it kind of leading
mhm,
to? And I kind of just asked that a lot, kind of watching it. Yeah, just kind of watching the movie. Robert Pattinson, who is in the movie, I mean, he doesn't. I mean, he's good and when he shows up, but he's like I said, the main focus seems to be, on Jennifer Lawrence there, and you got some good other supporting people like you saw in the trailer. Sissy Spacek, she's in it as well. Carrie herself, you got him. I mean, Stephen King theme night. You got Carrie as well in this, and she's good. She plays the mother of Robert Pattinson's character, and she's a one of the main kind of supportive people to Jennifer Lawrence's character and all she's kind of dealing with there. And she has some good moments there as well. But yeah, it's just kind of like okay, I mean, some solid performances. But yeah, that's kind of it with it, really, for me. And Hunter from the Real Pineapple says, I hated Mother. I I fall more on the end of liking Mother. I know that movie's divisive, but I fall more on the end of liking it. He says we need to talk about Kevin is amazing. It's such a bummer. Yeah, it is, especially if people know the ending with that. And he also
oh,
said,
yeah.
so the craziness plateaus quickly. I mean, it goes somewhere there that again that you could see is like, did this happen? Did this not happen? I mean, everything is so surreal and everything is so kind of out there. You don't know if that ending really happened or didn't happen. Um, it's left up to, I guess, interpretation more. But yeah, with that. So for me, I just kind of give it um, I give it like a stream it for me. Just that's a plain stream it there.
Mm.
So yeah. So that's my review. Down my love there. Yeah. Are you interested to maybe check it out or no? Because you think it reminds you too much of Mother?
Mother was a train wreck, but it was amazing.
Mm,
This seems like we need to talk about Kevin, and all her other works have always been there are some crazy moments in it, but most of her work is subdued. A lot of it is very she's a technically good technical filmmaker. She's very good at that, but a lot of her subject matter is very pulled back.
mm,
So Mother was all out in front and just nuts, and that's why I liked it. Not I unironically like Mother. Not I should say actually ironically like Mother because it's so nutso and it's very clear what the subject matter is about. There's no
mm,
subtlety in it.
yeah.
What the vibes I'm getting from Die My Love is that there is some subtlety here, but it's also kind of unreliable. A lot of it's unreliable because of postpartum and the
Yeah.
imagery of like what is happening, what's not happening. Um,
And it just
so yeah, go ahead.
oh, it just kind of feels I mean, I get if you were really with this person, I mean, it would be kind of exhausting being with them. But it just kind of feels like after a while, it's like, okay, bitch, get some help. I mean, what do you want me to do here? I mean, I'm just kind of trapped with this person, and just like so exhausting, kind of kind of watching kind of this play out. And again, I mean, it can work because I think it worked in If I Had Legs, I Should Kick You, dealing with a woman who's is very incredibly overwhelmed. But yeah. But I'm sorry, what were you saying there?
Oh, no. I mean, basically, it's kind of what you're saying is I might check it out. I might if I feel like being depressed. So, that's most for work.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my thoughts. That my love.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Thank you for joining me, Dusk.
Yeah, again, sorry I was late.
No problem there. And Hunter, thanks for joining, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Commentary was very good, very much necessary commentary there. I'm gonna be sending you over to Dante. Dante's a great guy. I haven't rated him in a minute. And future streams, I'll be back Saturday. I'll be doing a stream there Saturday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm thinking do a review for Wizard of Oz. I have not seen it before, so it'd be nice to finally watch it. Yeah.
Well, you're in for a treat.
Yeah. So yeah, seeing the classic film after all these years, seeing it
and
there,
all the suffering that went into it.
Yeah, didn't some of the little people they died or something, right? Or something?
No, they got injured. A lot of people who the flying monkeys, they would just like the wires were so thin it would snap and fall. The actress who played the Wicked Witch got second degree burns. And then as soon as she came back from the hospital, they're like, okay, so you're going to be on the broom that's flying over on the strings. She's like, no. So her stunt double was on the broom, and then that snapped and fell, and she broke her arm and leg. And Dorothy was on pills the entire time. They were calling her fat, and so she got horrible eating disorder afterwards and was like looked down upon. The original guy who was in the makeup for the metal Tin Man, he went to the hospital because he was poisoned. And then in the hospital, the producers called him and said, "So you're showing up on set?" And he's like, "I'm in the hospital. I almost died." And they went, "Okay, so you're fired." And then they got a second guy in, changed the formula for the makeup, did like deep scars on his face, like turned it like greenish for months afterwards. They finished shooting. The Strong Man was originally going to play the Tin Man, but he switched because he didn't like the makeup on it. And then he went and became the Scarecrow. And then the Scarecrow guy also had stuff happen to him. The guy in the tiger suit overheated constantly, and he passed out several times due to the heat exhaustion because they were in like super hot degrees. Oh, it goes on. Oh yeah, and all the little people would get drunk at a hotel. There's a movie about that called Under the Rainbow that has Chevy Chase in it. That talks about or does like making a bigger deal, like a fantasy version of that. But there's like a bunch of it would be like they would have orgies, they would get drunk, they would flip up Dorothy's dress, the actress dress, and just like be perverted just because they knew they could get away with it. They thought they could get away with it, and they pretty much did, and they'd act like little hellions. And the whole shoot on it was a darn nightmare. Under the Rainbow is a strange movie, but that it tries to kind of capture the chaotic, absolute mess that was going on during the making of that movie.
I have not heard of that before. Under the Rainbow. Okay.
Yeah, as Hunter said it, in terms of safety, the production came up a little short.
Fuck you, Hunter. Yeah. So I'm gonna be doing that, checking that out there.
I mean, Hunter, how many times have we said this where he's like, "I've never seen this," and we go, "What?"
Not a lot.
I mean, everybody has that movie where that classic movie you should have seen, but you just never did. So,
I think probably for Christmas we'll do probably Miracle on 34th Street. I've never seen that one, or It's a Wonderful Life. I've never seen that one either. So I might do either one of those. But Monday I'll be with Sage, rated M for Immaturity there, doing Running Man 1987. I'll be doing a retro review for that. Doing a review for the anthology series from the Chainsaw Man director there on 1726.
1726.
Amazon Prime there. And then also doing Pluribus, the Apple TV show there. Doing that from Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Do a review for that.
El
And if I can,
Camino and everything else.
everything else there, yeah. Seems like he's got another hit on his hands with this.
Nice.
Then Dragon Ball, Diyama. Try to do a review for that as well. See if I can watch it. Yeah, I'm sending you over to Dante. He's doing Marvel Rivals right now. Do that. And then Wednesday, I'll see if we're doing anything with Neil there. See if he wants to do Spider-Man or Adam's Family Values for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's coming up pretty soon.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah, man. Thanksgiving's coming. And then hopefully you can join me again this Friday. Dude, Now You See Me, Now You Don't. It's funny that they just used that title just now. They just cracked that open. And then doing Keeper, and then the big movie, of course, Wicked for Good. Do that big movie. That old there, Wicked for Good. I'm loving the press tour for Wicked for Good. It's some funny ass memes that have been going on.
Oh, absolutely. They're nuts.
Yeah, that guy.
Absolutely nuts. The guy that tried to get to Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Yeah, all like Ariana Grande and her other co-star, they're just absolutely nuts. Like the whole press tour has been a nightmare.
Yeah, I love it. It's pretty wild.
Oh no,
I mean,
I
I don't know if she got ambushed. But I'm loving the memes. Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande. Yeah, they're theater kids, right?
Yeah, and it's all over this.
So yeah. So good night, everybody. Stay tuned. Out of here. Peace. Have a good night, Dust.